Good morning. Sorry about wobbling, you balanced on the printer. It is just after 8 o'clock in the morning. I have filmed nothing about getting to work. I'm at work, by the way. It's Friday and it is day 13. It is Friday the 13th today. I had a dream last night that if one of those dreams where you're late and everything you do just makes it worse, and then I woke up and I'd snoozed my alarm and it was like 7:05. So I really was like rushing. But I'm here super early, so it all worked out well. When I arrived, there was a fantastic rainbow over the museum and I sort of parked my car and dashed out, but it vanished by the time I'd got to the spot to take a picture. So I've now got an eye out just in case it comes back and I can get a good picture of it. I didn't make my lunch. Every pre-work day, I make my packed lunch to take to work, and I put everything else together. I've got my banana, got my grapes, got, you know, snacky bits, but I didn't actually make any lunch, which is unheard of. So I'm actually going to have to go and buy it today. So we do have a hospital canteen that are quite famous for Fish and Chip Friday, but that'd be way too much for lunch. I think I'd need a nap after that. So I'm going to have to go and see what they've got in the way of other bits, slightly lighter, for lunch, which feels like a bit of a treat actually. I'm not going to complain. Right, first call of business, cup of tea. Cheers. Hello, I am home from work. I've lost track of what I filmed today. I think the last thing I was filming was my soup, my chicken and mushroom soup, which was very delicious, that I got from the hospital canteen at work. Yeah, it was nice. It felt like a nice Friday treat to have that. By the way, can you see, you can just see, I don't know if you can normally see these when I film in here. I've got you set up on the tripod so I don't have to hold it. Those are the pictures. We've had those up above our bed ever since we got married. I took these pictures on our honeymoon. We went to the Maldives. That's a Donny boat and that's me on a bike. Sorry, that was completely irrelevant tangent. So I'm home. I'm in my pyjamas. I was in my pyjamas within like 3 minutes of getting in the door. I've got my vlog for tonight uploading now, and I've got my laptop here so I can publish that once it's ready. But my iPad, where it's uploading, is next to the modem because that's the best way to get it done. So what I'm going to do, because we've got Phoebe's in her room chilling out Friday night, iPad. She's watching the Norris Nuts. Lilia's at her boyfriend's for dinner. Dan's handling dinner. He always does pizza on a Friday. So I've got a good, I would say a good hour to myself. So I am going to watch some Vlogtobers and I am going to cast on a load of socks. So I've got a video going up this weekend on Sunday on my Little Drops of Wonderful knitting and crochet channel. And it's all about casting on for all of my Strictly socks, which I filmed earlier in the week, but obviously I haven't had time to cast on all of the socks because I'm pretty slow. So I'm going to do a bit more casting on and a bit more knitting. I'm going to have a lovely time. Oh, and I meant to say as well, the book. So I am listening, I'll put the picture on the screen rather than, on the screen, not the scream, rather than showing you on my phone. I'm listening to the follow-up to Hexappeal. I really enjoyed Hexappeal. Very light-hearted, loved the witchiness, perfect this time of year, bit of a romance, nothing serious. It's about what my brain can handle during Vlogtober. Really liked it. And I know a few of you have said that you've been enjoying it too, so that's good. And I'm listening to the follow-up, which is Hex in the City. It took me a little while to get into it because they're different characters, but it's the same kind of you know, witchy premise, that kind of thing. But this time, instead of being set in Essex, it's set in London. And I've really enjoyed that because, you know, growing up and in my, you know, in my 20s and my earlier working life, and I lived and worked in London, I studied in London, and there's a lot of references that are just really, really nice and familiar to me, like just silly little funny things like never get off at Covent Garden and never change at bank. Just little things like that make me laugh. And earlier when I was on my way home, she made reference to, what was it that really made me smile? Oh, the Cutty Sock. There's a whole reference to the Cutty Sock, which is in Greenwich, which is also, yeah, somewhere that we've been with the girls a lot, and yeah, it was just nice. It's nice to have all these places that you know so well. It also mentions a lot Highgate Cemetery, which is actually somewhere I've never been to. So I might see if we might have a little bit of a spooky and interesting trip during the October half term, which is in not next week but the week after. Maybe try to go to Highgate Cemetery, which is a Victorian cemetery in London, and I think there's some famous people buried there. I think Karl Marx is buried there, Douglas Adams, who wrote The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Although it's a cemetery, so I wonder if I would be allowed to film there. I'm gonna look it up. No, it says you need permission if you're taking photos or video for anything other than personal use. So I probably will visit, but I won't be able to take you with me. So I might do that another time. And yes, Karl Marx is buried there. So is Douglas Adams, Malcolm McLaren, and other people. Oh, there's quite a long list. I won't go into that now. I got distracted. Anyway, it does make reference to Highgate Cemetery quite a bit in the book. It's quite interesting. There's a lot of ghost kind of stuff, which again makes it really, really fun for this time of year. It's perfect autumn spooky season listening. Right, I'm going to shut up and get knitting. Well, that was fun. I'm back downstairs now, although I did cast on one of my socks and then realised that I was supposed to start it in my contrast colour, so I had to rip it back. But I learned a really good tip. I thought I'd learned nearly everything. Of course, that's a silly thing to think because there's always something new to learn with knitting and crochet. So for my this yarn, which is called She Was a Showgirl, it's by Yarn Dyers That No Longer Die, called Little French Meadow, and it's got this contrast red. I am making the Swiss dot shorty socks by Lovely Nancy at Knit Sip Happy, and she did a little tip at the beginning of her pattern for when you cast on about something you do. I won't say because it's in her pattern. Something you do with the first 2 stitches to make the join in the cast on edge really smooth. Oh my goodness, I am going to be doing that every time I cast on a pair of socks now. Really, really pleased with that. So I'm going to start again with those, but I'm going to do it whilst having a Friday night glass of Frizzanti. Cheers everybody. I hope you've all had a good week. I hope your Friday the 13th was good to you. I've also just noticed when I sat down that not only is there a hole in the cushion, I made these cushions. I even did the piping and everything. Well, you can see what I noticed there. So these cushions are made out of, so this fabric I bought from this vintage William Morris. And it was because we had this fabric, we had entire sofas and matching curtains made out of it in the house where I was growing up. So I got some fabric and I made myself some cushions for the living room, and I made one for my sister as well. And incidentally, I had a question also about this picture, which you will see behind. I'm not going to try and say it, but it's by this artist. I hope that's focusing. I can't see. From the 70s. And this was hanging in our childhood living room as well, complete with the retro gold frame. So it just came with me. That light's flickering. Might need a new bulb. Anyway, that was all to say that when I sat down, I noticed there was a hole in the cushion, So I'm going to need, in the seam, so I'm going to need to sew that. But also look at this. We have a hole in the sofa. We already have many problems with this sofa. For example, you see all the discoloration. This is the actual colour and this is the discoloration. It looks like that's dirty and that's clean, but it's not. This is the colour. This is where it's worn off. Yeah, that happened really quickly after we bought it quite a few years ago now. Oh my goodness, we've had this a long time. About 7 years ago. Yeah, I think so. And it wasn't long after we moved in. The girls were really young, which is why we got leather sofas to be able to wipe it and everything. But recently we have been thinking that we would really like lovely fabric sofas, but we would never have got rid of perfectly good sofas, but it has started properly falling apart now. The cuddle sofa over there is fine, so I might see if we were to get new sofas, I might see if I could find somewhere that might take it, either a charity shop that does furniture, or see if I can, I don't know, put it on FreeCycle. Does that still exist? I'll have to look at that. But we're definitely going to need new sofas, and I hate making decisions about things like sofas. The Hoover broke earlier as well. We had that in the old house, and we've been here for about 9 years. So yeah, I think I'm just going to get exactly the same Hoover. Or vacuum. Americans call it vacuum and we call it Hoover. But actually the American is more accurate because it's a vacuum. Hoover is a brand name. And it's not a Hoover, it's a Mealy. Why am I talking about Hoovers? Should we do a Celtic Spirit card just for fun? I bought these for Lilia. Never used them, so just occasionally I do it for fun. They were from Amazon. I got my friend some as well. They're just really pretty. They're little oracle cards, so the idea is you're supposed to sort of shuffle them and concentrate. I think you can do different spreads and things. I just pick one out, like I'm doing a card trick. And then there's a little booklet that tells you what it means. And the pictures are so beautiful. I'm going to have to put the camera down in order. I wonder if I can put it here. There you go, now it's like we're sitting together on the sofa. Can I get you anything? Dan's just doing the pizza bases. What would you like on yours? Do you need a top up? No, you're okay? Good. Right, shuffle them. Right, there we go. All shuffled. And now I would just pick one that seems to speak to me. This one. Is it the right way up? It is. Divination. Oh, that's nice. So let me show it to you properly. I don't know. I just realised when I did that, it might have been off screen. So I've got divination, and look, it's like a little dream catcher. That's quite autumnal, actually, isn't it? Okay, so then underneath it says guides, Ogham, it's Ogham, and tree spirits. And there's a number so I can look it up in the book. I'll read you a little bit, but there's quite a lot, so I don't think you need to know the whole lot. This is a sign called Fion's Window. I'm pretty sure that's not how you say it. F-I-O-N-N. It shows the symbols called Ogham, pronounced Ogham or Ogham, which is an early form of Irish writing, placed around concentric circles. Each of the Ogham letters represents a tree and also forms the Celtic tree calendar. Each tree or Ogham represents specific energies, much like rune symbols. La 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 la. It says the tree spirits are here to guide you. I am here for that. I'm here for the tree spirits. It may be time to work with the energies of the Celtic tree calendar and discover a whole new meaning to life. One that may take you on a journey of self-discovery, much like a spiritual pilgrimage. Upon drawing this card, you are being called to work more closely with these energies. And then it gives you a lot more information. Well, that's interesting, isn't it? I love stuff like this. I don't know how much I fully believe in it, but I love it, and I really love the artwork on this. I don't know who the artist is. Nicola McIntosh is the artist. I'll link it underneath because I bought it on Amazon. Yeah. Oh, I'll leave that turned up on the top to remind me of the one that I picked last time when I do it again. I don't do it often, just when I feel like it. So, tree spirits, everybody. They're here to guide us. Am I allowed to enter the kitchen yet?
Not quite.
Dan banished me.
It's because you're getting in the way.
I wasn't in the way.
Yes, you are.
I was just getting cheese.
You were getting in the way.
Say hello to everybody. What are you watching?
RuPaul's Drag Race UK Season 5, Episode 3. It's the Girl Band Challenge.
What are you having on your pizza?
I'm having tuna and anchovies tonight.
I think I'm going to go what I did last week and have half and half with jalapenos and sweet, what do I want to say?
Your onion chutney stuff?
My onion chutney. Just dropped a load.
Oh. Chutney blob.
Oops.
Sounds like some kind of modern pop star, doesn't it?
What?
Chutney blob.
That sounds like a drag name.
That would, wouldn't it?
I can't open it. You're going to have to... Oh, hang on. I'll do my trick. Look, I'm filming as well. You just release the air with a spoon. And then you can open it. Hello.
I could be filmed as well.
You approve of being filmed, do you?
Yeah, because I went home and did my makeup and stuff.
You've done your makeup, what, to put your pyjamas on?
I did it ages ago. Braces on, and I've got my necklace on.
Oh, just for an evening of relaxation.
No, I had it on when I was upstairs because I was bored.
You ready for your pizza? Could you pop these two back in the fridge top shelf in the door for me, please? Thank you. Last thing is the kale. The kale that Dan bought has the date of tomorrow and does not smell. I think it's all right for now, and it'll be all right for the chickens tomorrow, but after that it's done. So the chickens are only having kale tomorrow. Or I might cook it up and have it at lunchtime.
Cook it up, got a fried egg on.
You're not good at checking dates. He said he was too distracted by listening to a podcast. What podcast were you listening to? It must have been a good one.
The Lucy Worsley one about lady killers, it's called.
Lucy Worsley has been to our museum. She's also written a book on Jane Austen. I think she's written 2 books on Jane Austen. He's so interested in that he walked away. He doesn't care for my Lucy Worsley facts.
Nice episode, Phoebe for Mum.